Alright, Platinum Jungle, Season 14, Bel'Veth vs Nidalee. Bel'Veth comes out of base and wards early. Not a good ward, but wards early nonetheless. Nidalee is on the bottom side here watching this. Now I get it, I've been a big voice on this. Watch your bottom side. Your bottom lane don't do their job. This guy's ready to do some stuff on the top lane. You're down here. You need to see this. Because of the fact that the Raptors Blue Grump Invade path is still psychopathic, and yes, you can beat it easily, but you need to be prepared against it, right? If you don't see it coming, that's when it hurts you. The Nidalee watches the bottom side for no reason, even though she does have her bottom lane watching the entrance. Well, not entrance, but, you know, there's vision and they're standing there. Bel'Veth is now chilling here. I don't know why. Nidalee goes into the jungle here, in vision, wards this. And again, this is hyper risky because we have no idea where the rest of the team is. And of course, now she's going to actually, I have no idea what happens. What happens? Let's see. She just walks back this direction. The Bel'Veth is sitting in the bush, observing, watching. Okay. All right. Where's Nidalee going? Nidalee's going back down to the bottom side. Okay. So that means she's going to steal away the blue and the grump, waiting for the top laner to show us. No idea what the top laner is. And this is why you watch your entrances, just because you never know what kind of cheesy-ass nonsense you're going to face on a game-to-game basis, and you want to be prepared for it, all right? End of story. That's why we talk about level 1s like this, and also, that's why I was the most depressed person when they removed the fact, well, when they brought in pets, which everyone hates, but when they brought in pets, they made it so you couldn't buy the jungle item and a control ward anymore. So instead of having the jungle item and a control ward where I could put it down here early and put a control ward or vision ward down here early, that made it you a lot more naked, right? All you had was your trinket, and that's it. You don't have any extra control wards in your pocket level 1. So for sure, you're meant to. This is what's curious to me right here, okay? Just watch this quickly. The Nidalee goes to here, so yeah, it's good to ward. So the Nidalee recognizes, all right, bottom lane show up immediately. Jungle isn't in the picture. She's going from red into the blue side jungle. What is the purpose of this? We have no idea really what's going on, because I think she was just planning on invading the grump of the Bel'Veth, and now you see the pings on the minimap. Bel'Veth must be doing my red side because, you know, process of elimination. She's not here, and she's not here, therefore she must be here. But the idea was to simply invade a Bel'Veth level 2 Coinflip. I don't know. I don't really see that as a great play, and this is why I don't like this start here. But now we're in a vertical jungling situation, so you absolutely must head over to Virkayu.gg. I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's making junglers reach their goals, as we saw with the record number of people hitting them at the end of Season 13. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle diff every game you play, click the link below or head to Virkayu.gg. Level 1 shenanigans out of the way. Alright, I've made a main channel video about that called Invade, and you can go watch that if you want to learn a bit more about how to counter this and the pros and cons overall to the strategy. But this was just a quick highlight on the wards, and you just never want to be in a vertical jungling situation, because if you're the Bel'Veth, look at this. Hello. I don't think we needed to flash, but you know what? We'll take the kill. And now Bel'Veth is vertical jungling on the top side here, and how do you play this properly? Well, what you have to think about is respawn of camps. So, because we took the whole blue side quadrant from the Nidalee, let's just pause here quickly. Because we took all of this initially, you're going to have the respawn of 420 and the respawn of 440 approximately of the Grump of the Wolves, yes? The Nidalee does this into this. So immediately, because she does obviously the red into the Grump, it might have been better just to do the blue. You got blue Grump Wolves, because you really want to delay the spawn timers of these. Because you know if the Bel'Veth is taking this and then falling back to these respawn timers will be in the 5 minutes, and these respawn timers will be in the almost 5 minutes to 5 minutes. And so the Bel'Veth, once she's finished doing the vertical jungling here, as long as you as Nidalee are able to have pressure, item advantage, experience advantage, and ability to take these when they respawn, you've taken away her vertical jungling opportunity, and the Bel'Veth is now sitting around here with a huge gap in time. So, vertical jungling on equal standards, okay, provided you can get ganks in your side lanes, which Bel'Veth hasn't, and provided you don't mess up mid lane too much and you guys play around that correctly. But the jungler who corrects it and has this offset will be way more advantaged than the other one, all right? So let's see how it plays out. So Nidalee obviously does a good job of going right into the invade. It's a little cringe, but she does it. She gets a good gank off. The Bel'Veth gets absolutely nothing. Now she's circling back this way. In her brain, she should recognize that she's lost everything. I don't know why she's not thinking about doing something to the Jax. She doesn't know her power. Now she's going this way into the Scuttle Crab, so she's lost a lot of overall tempo. And then Nidalee can actually afford to stay out here, but the problem is, at 4:02, she should know all of these camps are down. She sees the Bel'Veth, and now is cutting across the map to counter gank it. Good job, Bel'Veth. Now, could we have done that beforehand? Yes. Why would we do it beforehand? Because it kind of allows us to take this option away and quickly go down to the Scuttle Crab afterwards. But either way, I'm happy that she got the Scuttle Crab and she got the top lane gank. The Nidalee here's mistake was not understanding timings. The Nidalee should have recognized, like, hey, if I just go Raptors into Krugs here, 1, I can repeat gank bottom lane if possible. 2, I can just go back to this. Or 3, because I took this and I'm taking the Raptors now, you can cut back across to this Grump again. Now the question would be, is Bel'Veth coming out of base? Right? So Bel'Veth goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She goes and does the 7. She ganks this one. Before she shows for this one, you don't know as Nidalee when you're on the Raptors if she is basing or ganking. So if you go for the Grump here, that's a bit of an issue. So what I would like to do is kind of do the Krugs to think and observe. Give myself a bit of time here. Is the Bel'Veth going to gank top lane? If yes, all right, then maybe I can actually go ahead and snack this away. Maybe I can gank this again. Maybe I can just straight up gank this and go back to base and ignore this. Basically, it gives you options. Worst case scenario, you see this. You don't feel comfortable going back again. This is ungankable. Your bottom lane not in the picture. So you go back to base. Now you know at 420 that Grump is up, right? Because if you go ahead and show, what's going to happen is the Bel'Veth might do this ganking. Oh, thanks for the Grump of the Wolves again. And that's where you want to cancel the vertical jungling. Like right now, this is where you cancel it. And because you did red into that Grump, it has already spawned, and this is where you didn't want to do that at all. You wanted to delay the spawn as much as possible. So Bel'Veth goes back to base, and now obviously knows, okay, look, my bottom side are taken. They will be respawning, but I kind of want those Grumps. So Nidalee here, because of her Raptors into the top side, don't you feel sad after discussing all that? I hope it made sense. I know it gets a little spaghetti and waffly with this kind of stuff. You know, that's why the courses are nice, because you can really go slow and paint it out, and every single scenario, just spend a lot of time on it. But obviously in this case, I feel like the Nidalee is just trading us. It's just trading sides. Now, sure, this can work. There's nothing wrong with basically giving up your top side and sacrificing your Jax. I don't know if I would want to, personally, and I don't know if I'd want to give the Bel'Veth anything for free. Now, the Bel'Veth play here is solid, yeah? It's a solid move. Look, I assume bottom side are compromised. I don't know when they're going to respawn. Let me do the free objective on the top side. By that stage, I know they would have respawned, and then I can do something about it. Now, obviously here, she is not factoring in anything about the Nidalee, and this is where that gold platinum kind of stuff goes through. If the mid laner goes down into a brush and hovers on that side, usually there's a jungler there. The bottom lane dies straight up, so that advantage has not worked. Bel'Veth goes to the top side, so Nidalee goes for the dragon. And we all know I don't think we should be doing that. We should be thinking about camps and shadow for this situation here. And obviously we know that the Ezreal has died and the Malguy's gotten the kill, so they're not really interested in dealing with us. I don't think wasting this much time on a dragon, like look at this. Play whatever traditional music you like, but you cannot tell me that this is worth more than denying these camps. Gold platinum, guys. This is where it is. It's denial. So if you can deny these camps away, and then deny the Scuttle Crab and clear the vision, and fall back to your red side, Bel'Veth comes down here, she's like, where's my stuff? And now she's forced into a gank that you can counter gank, she's forced into a dragon you can counter fight. She has nothing to do. But now all you do is you spend all this time on a dragon that's not going to determine your win condition, and now she goes and gets all of these camps up. Now the downside is obviously, you're not playing against a necessarily good jungler, so, you know, unfortunately this fight is a bad idea because there's no prior, so I don't know why she would fight it, but she does fight it, and she dies. She had an advantage there. She chose not to use it. She chose to throw it, and that's not so good. So yeah, that's how I see this early phase, this first 7 minutes. Both junglers suboptimal. Bel'Veth at least decent on the sequencing, good objective. Nidalee compromised her ability to shut down the vertical and shut down the Bel'Veth twice. And while the Bel'Veth throws it back in her face and just gives her a freebie, remember when you're the Nidalee here, if you make these mistakes against a good jungler, a diamond destined jungler, master destined jungler, they will punish you for this. They will take the advantages you're giving them for this. See, now the Bel'Veth is able to walk into your jungle here, but why would she? You know, like, she walks up. Did she just use her E, her 17-second cooldown E, to try and steal a wolf, which she now no longer has to withstand an all-in from a Nidalee and an Echo? 7 seconds, 6 seconds, avoid it. No, good job, but now you're still done a B. Now it's coming up. I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit of a not-so-good fight. Jax goes top lane again. Katarina, fortunately... Bel'Veth is a very difficult champion to mess up. Nice job by the Nidalee there on the flash swipe. Hits that spear. Nice swap back into the heal. Not quite enough yet. Bel'Veth will get, obviously, true form and heal, but Echo can just hit, hopefully, an EQ. That was just tragic. I apologize for you having to witness that. And this is why people hate Bel'Veth, because you can literally play like a donkey's asshole, and for some reason, you get away with it. Now, sure, against more abled hands, she would have died, but the problem is, you are together abled hands. It's Bel'Veth, guys. She's healed up. Jax is like, you don't help me, I don't help you. And honestly, there's respect for that because it's vertical jungling. That sucks. And you get spam ganked. And he thinks that he has been done wrong by you. And, and thus decides not to rotate. But a good top laner will understand that vertical jungling is not necessarily a jungler's fault. In this case, it is both jungler's fault directly. So, not my point. But my point more so is if there is accidental vertical jungling and this guy's sacrifice, he has to understand how to read it and acknowledge that as long as his jungler is doing good shit somewhere else, it's fine. But most top laners don't see it that way, and they'll just behave like babies. So take that into consideration. Obviously, when this happens, now Nidalee, instead of just going down to the bottom side, says, Bel'Veth, I assume you're going to be over here. Wait for that hop. There you go. Overstay on the Gromp. Now, she hasn't taken a red. Kel'Sha's top lane, Katarina's still mid lane, which means we can take her red back. Bel'Veth really is just coin flip everything. Like, the sequencing wasn't great. The farming was solid, but it's more like what Nidalee allowed her to do. She overstayed on the invade there. Spear hits. Oh, nice little dodge. Very nice dodge. Obviously, Bel'Veth will coin flip these. Yes, let's go. You know, oh, the ease. On the main channel, I just released a video saying why you should be an aggressive early game jungler and ignore farm. This is not what I mean, alright? When I put that there, that's not my personal style. I don't think it's the objective best style. But there are champions and junglers who fuse their strategies and abilities together very well and do this in Challenger, Grandmaster, Master, Diamond, whatever. There's a difference between coin flipping your life savings on a lottery ticket and having complex mathematical models and a PhD in math for sporting events and esports, which again, still gambling, don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it, not by lotto tickets. You know what I mean? You understand the reference? So, in this particular case, the Nidalee and the Bel'Veth are just buying lotto tickets with their life savings every time and saying, hey! And, you know, it's not working out for them. Like, look at this. Like, this is just straight up how you lose games, and obviously the Bel'Veth is 3-3-2, the Nidalee is 3-2-2. Objectives are basically 1 apiece, 6 grubs to 1 dragon. Gold amount 4.4 to 4.1. And again, nothing wrong with the gold amount, but look at what's happening in the world around you. Obviously, reading news is important, but, you know, don't sacrifice your entire mental state for the news, but also don't go live in a hole in the ground and not understand, you know, what's happening around you. So in this particular case, the Nidalee and the Bel'Veth are engaged in this gladiatorial, I don't know, they're throwing coins from different ages at each other and hoping, I don't know what they're hoping to happen. It's just ridiculous. But you look at the bottom lane, you're like, okay, Ezreal's fed, Jinx is behind. Mid lane, we are forcing mid laners to rotate. What are they doing? About the same as well. So they're coin flipping as much as we are. Top lane, okay, Kael's winning, but it's just a coin flip. Basically, when you lose the game as a Nidalee or the Bel'Veth in this situation, whoever wins this, I have no idea, you have to acknowledge that because you paid no attention to the game state, the map state, the lanes at all, you're coin flipping. You're just buying a lottery ticket and hoping that your lanes win and play around you doing these things. Because you're not doing it in a measured way. So the main channel video, the whole message is, okay, if you want to be aggressive and ignore farm, don't skip farm, don't do zero farm. Ignore it when you could fight or gank. You still fall back to the farm, you still get 6-7 CS per minute, but you don't prioritize it as your strategy, right? If you're gonna play like this, you have to play like in that video. Like, that's what Challenger players do, and they still have high econ, they still play around lanes, they still get A laner fed, they still repeat gank. It has reason to it. But this is just like, hey, I emotionally feel like invading in vertical jungling. Hey, I emotionally feel like doing a dragon because, hey, I feel like doing the grubs. I feel like doing a grump that I probably shouldn't. And that's what ends up costing you huge amounts of LP gains, alright? Huge amounts. I know, because while it's not my style, I have played in every meta for 10 years. And in Season 9, we had a very similar meta to this. We didn't have a choice, but everyone had to get used to playing that way. High tempo, high aggressive, fall back to camps in between, and obviously we had way higher catch-up experience back then, like it was an actual problem. It's not a problem now. It was an actual problem then. And it was in the camps. See, it's not in the camps now, but it was in the camps back then. Heavily. And this is how you would play, and you just had to be better at pathing, better at tempo, and better at snowballing. Otherwise, the other guy would catch up invariably because he'd just be chilling somewhere else. So if you just let him do what he wanted, screwed. And in this particular case, it reminds me of that style, but when there were bad junglers doing it. Yeah. Just some ramblings to think about when it comes to this. Because like, hey, look, Bel'Veth's bottom lane, I'll take some Raptors. This is good, right? Oh, hey, Nidalee's top side, I'll take some Krugs and a Dragon. She's dead. Like, these are good plays. These are just equal and opposite plays. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about when they just run into each other's jungle, run into each other for fights, for zero reason. Like here. If you're tracking the Bel'Veth, if you're paying attention to where the Bel'Veth goes, you know where she's going to end up. You know you shouldn't take this fight, right? And bottom lane has got a really heavily fed Ezreal, 6.2 to 4.2. And I would prefer if you fuse your aggression in the early game to involve snowballing at least one lane with you, so you can 2v8. Regardless, this is the way it be. So, Bel'Veth goes, does the Herald here. The problem with this is, my friends, watch this. Watch this here. Okay, we're going to skip forward again. Right, here's Bel'Veth. We watch, we track, we see. We know she's coming up, so we know it's going to be 3v2. We take the fight anyway, right? Okay, terrible fight, terrible fight. Bel'Veth does all of this, they kill this. Now she does her Krugs. Why are you doing your Krugs now? Why are you doing your Krugs? Like, Nidalee is dead, Jax is dead, you have numbers advantage, just go to the Herald. Herald, dead. Herald's done, leave, take your red, cool beans, gold, 2,000, back to base, buy your items, go to the bottom lane. Instead, she does Krugs first, and because she doesn't use this outside in rule, and because she does the Krugs first, the blue team are able to show up, steal it, and kill her, hopefully. I mean, let's have a look here. Yeah, spear hits. Oh. Oh. Yeah, we got her. We got her, ladies and gentlemen. Back out. Alright, stun there should be a free spear, but of course we heal, and we don't have the CDR, apparently, so never mind. There it is. There's the Kale ultimate. Jax, space yourself. Nice job with the Nidalee. Good patience there. Poppy shows up again. That spear is about as Yankos as it gets. And now we're going to chase down this Maokai. Can we hit him with another juicy? Yes, we can. That's a jump and an execute. Oh, heal. Heal yourself. Oh, Katarina. Oh my goodness, this is the worst Katarina in the world. Nice job. I guess. Nice job. Honestly, solid. Like, I take it. But Jax is 2-6-2. Jinx is 1-4-1. Right? If you're going to play like this and you're going to see this downside, you have to be able to 2v8 or 1v9. Like, basically, you've coinflipped your lanes with a strategy and it hasn't worked out for them, but it's worked out for you. You're at 7.1k at 60 minutes, that's okay, and 6.6k for the Bel'Veth. Both are fed. So both junglers now have to figure out, how am I going to carry this game? Let's see. I have no idea. Let's see what happens. The Echo takes the top side here, the Nidalee takes the blue quadrant, Jax catches the bottom lane, and we're all resetting. Next dragon is up, it's the third one, it's the one you want to win. Nidalee is 2,000 in pocket, critical error here, she should base after top lane, and spend her cash monies, buy an item, and now go fight this mega strong, right? That's what you should do. And I'm saying that because unfortunately, I pressed a button and I looked at the timeline. So do not results base what's going to happen next. You should have based. You should have based and spit your gold. Let's see. Bel'Veth does her blue. Nidalee shows up. All right. The guys, not a good fight this one. Not a good fight. Kale's top lane, fortunately. Oh, Poppy ult is absolutely massive. The blue went with them. Now we're going to do this. We know Katarina's around. We know Ezreal's around. We have to be smart. Smart and patient. All right, 2 go top lane. So, obviously, the whole time we're talking about the fact that we should go back to base for the dragon. We should have. But the dragons know when you're up. That heal is not okay. Poppy zones that out. We're walking to the Jax now. Ult goes through. We take that. We jump and we... I guess it's very funny to me. Do I need to commentate on what's happening? You guys are laughing as well? Hey, I play like this too sometimes, honestly. We all... We all have games like this where these things happen, and honestly, you just laugh at them. You have to be able to laugh at yourself when these things happen, because it's just ridiculous. So, there was no dragon for a while, so we spent a lot of time dancing bottom lane. What could we have done instead? Could have actually just based the top lane, or down top quadrant, based, and then the bottom quadrant. You had a lot of time to farm, which of course Nidalee chose not to do. Now, obviously, they're doing this, they're out of position, they're getting flanked upon. It's really just, hey guys, I think we should do this. No one's ever in position. Like, for red team, I know you're trying to greet this dragon, but Ezreal isn't even in the picture. Like, Ezreal's just not in the picture at all. Katarina wasn't in the spot. Kayle has no TP at the moment. It's really just a complete waste of time to Coinflip that, but red team does have the lead. And they have Virkayu, and she's getting decently strong, level 12 right now. Katarina is also very, very fed, and Ezreal was a champion while Jinx was not, and still is not. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Nidalee does a good job getting into their face at the moment. Falls back to a quadrant. Bel'Veth top side, Ezreal, Maokai into the Echo here, as expected. There we go. Well, yeah, okay. So Nidalee's in the mid lane. Jinx is doing a very good job, by the way. Her sitting here and not pushing up and not dying further is massive. However, she missed the fact that Jax is going absolute 1v9. Jinx ult does hit. She did not miss it, excuse me. Nidalee shows up in the Bel'Veth. And again, why is the Bel'Veth following the Kayle into Doom? Like, you know she's overcommitting, so look to push somewhere else. Help the Katarina shove up a little bit. Help this 2v2 and just push hard as hell. You're Bel'Veth. Just go help your bottom lane, absolutely kill the Echo and 3-man bottom lane. There's no ways that they're going to go for this Baron now, because it's just 20 minutes now. So if you do this earlier and really push here, they're going to defend. They're not going to the Baron just yet. And this gives the Katarina a chance to push this, and the Kayle a chance to push this. And then while they do that, as long as no one dies, and you don't do a dumb dive here, so you push this in and fall back, then that's good. Yeah. Be solid. But we didn't do that. So we shadowed the Kayle being killed, and not the Ezreal and the Maokai who are fed, and in turn we died. Excuse me. Let's see what happens here. So we take the Baron. Katarina and Maokai decide, let's chase them down, because, and I don't know why. Huge by the Echo. I mean, that's what Echo does, by the way. Now, obviously, Jinx is here. Ezreal's there. Like, listen, you guys want to climb through Platinum? You honestly want to climb through Platinum? The ultimate tip? Count to 5. Because if you can count to 5, you can determine whether your team has more than the enemy team. Hey, there's 2 of us and potentially 3 or 4 of them. Should we make this play? Probably not. Ezreal's here, Kayle's here, so no. Now, should the Ezreal be with you? You can say yes if you want to, but he isn't. So you have to play what is, not what should be. In this case, I think the Ezreal is right. I don't think you should be here anyway, but it is what it is. All right. She really needs to know when to press E. Obviously worried about the Kayle flank. There it is. Jinx is a shove, though. Bel'Veth is out of position. Great job there. Move towards the Jinx. Create a 3v1 advantage for yourselves. Echo splitting here. 1-3-1. Perfect. Push, push, push. All parallel. Here. Here. And here. This is a little bit sagging. So we need to push this up so that we can match all 3 lanes on the inhibited turrets. That's what a good 1-3-1 does. A team against a 1-3-1 will all engage like this. And now you have to team fight. And a 1-3-1 will always fail when the 5-man stack actually engages well and the 1-3-1 team doesn't split into cut properly. Oh my god, it's a Smurf. It's a Smurf player. I mean, Nidalee's heal is ridiculous, but like this is still very good. This is it. This is huge. Here's Kayle. That's hyper aggression. Little too soon there, Nidalee. Little too soon. No, we die. Okay, never mind. I spoke too soon. So yes. Good job, Jax. Good, fantastic. This is how you defeat the soul of a 5-man death squad. 1-3-1, force the 5 to go in. As long as the one's cutting in and the other one's cutting in, they get a great flanking approach, and you can honestly dominate like this. But you have to mechanically play it well if you're amongst the 3, right? So if the 5 engage here, don't fight, kite out, give time for the TPs and the collapses. Otherwise, they get inhibs. So as long as you cut back as long as possible, they get inhibs. So that's really like how the macro should work in this kind of situation. Now nothing happens again until everyone respawns, and now we're fighting over dragons, so let's see what happens. Blue team now is the lead by 3k. Honestly, it's just like Kayle and Katarina and Bel'Veth had leads, and they just they had leads and they just refused to to play properly around it. And now Echo's doing huge things. Poppy goes in, backline there with the Nidalee. Obviously, you can attack speed steroid your Jinx, which I highly recommend using your Nidalee on that Jinx. Please ensure you do that. And Massive and resets Mega to the face. Inhib and GG's. That's how you throw a game. It's how also Coinflip games are won and lost. Just like that. So, hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. I had fun, honestly. The game's got to be fun as well. So the funny games with funny mechanics and weird plays and you laugh at them, laugh at yourself, enjoy the process of learning, enjoy your failings, enjoy these funny games as well, as much as the pristine, beautiful games. It's all part of the experience. See you all in the next one.